It is almost 20 after 5 on Taking Care of Business. You are with Zingisa Chira with you till 5:30 this afternoon. And African Energy Week conference is scheduled to start tomorrow and run until Friday at the V&A Waterfront in Cape Town. And known as the premier event for the oil and gas sector on the continent, the interactive exhibition and networking event hosted by the African Energy Chamber seeks to unite the continent's energy stakeholders, drive industry growth and development. Now, we are supposed to be joined by the African Energy Chamber's Senior Vice President, that is Werner Aguyegeba. However, we are experiencing some technical difficulties, so I will quickly try get hold of Werner and see if we can actually save this conversation. It is Taking Care of Business. You're listening to Rise FM.
When the ones and twos add up to hundreds, you know you're listening to the Rise FM Music Connoisseurs. And now you can listen even longer. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Join the Rise FM Music Connoisseurs from 7 until 9 p.m. as they serve up 2 hours of house according to jazz, classic, deep, tropical, soulful, and Afro House with some 45 BPM stirred in for extra flavor. Join the Rise FM Music Connoisseurs live on air and on social media. Rise FM, Mpumalanga, Azishe. Because money makes the world go round. Taking Care of Business on Rise FM.
And it seems the gods are on our side because we did manage to get hold of Werner Aguyegeba, who is the Senior Vice President at the African Energy Chamber, just to give us a preview of what we can expect at African Energy Week conference, which is scheduled to kick off tomorrow. Now, Werner, could you just give us a brief background on African Energy Week and its significance?
First of all, thank you very much for having me. African Energy Week is the yearly event of the African Energy Chamber, and it is a platform to attract investment across the entire energy value chain in Africa. So we are looking, for example, at power issues in South Africa. We want to be able to stimulate investment into the power sector in South Africa. For example, we're looking at opportunities in Nigeria, Angola, Mozambique. And so for us, it's really important once in a year to bring investors together, governments together, and all other stakeholders to be able to discuss energy issues which are key for us in Africa.
So could you share some of these key issues that will be unpacked for this week?
Absolutely. It is a no-brainer. We have 600 million people in Africa without any kind of access to power. We have 900 million people in Africa without any kind of access to clean cooking fuels, most of those women and children. And so investing in energy is an absolute must. Well, we are sitting in South Africa here, where there is load shedding every so often. It's too much. And we need to be able to stimulate and ensure that we can have investment that is going to bring back the power that we need to be able to stimulate and drive jobs, to be able to stimulate and ensure that our hospitals, our schools have the power that they need. At the core of development is reliable and affordable power. And that is what we're trying to push investment into.
And hopefully, at the end of this week, what are some of the expectations or outcomes that we are hoping to achieve? I know in South Africa, there's a big deal about Shell's proposed gas exploration on the East Coast.
The most important thing which we are looking to achieve is to be able to increase investment into the energy space in Africa. We need to be able to do seismic studies. We need to be able to explore in and around South Africa. Shell studies is a very unfortunate occurrence. We need more of those studies. We need to encourage not just Shell, we need to encourage other companies to do even more studies. Because you know what? If we do not explore, we are not going to have additional supply for the power that we need. Now, We cannot complain that we have load shedding and we are busy stopping those who are looking for the resources that are going to allow us to end the load shedding. If you look at Europe at the moment is importing and increasing the amount of coal that they use, importing and increasing the amount of gas that they use to ensure energy security. We need to be able to do the same thing for Africa. And so for that sense, it is very important that we are allowed to continue the studies that we need here. Be it Shell or be it anybody else, we need to be able to do that.
And Werner, I should have probably started off with this question, but just to wrap up, who are we expecting to see at the conference for the duration of this week?
Absolutely, that's a great question. Key stakeholders who are going to be at the conference, of course, the host minister, Minister Gwede Mantashe. We are going to get the president of Afreximbank, a great institution which has increased its investment in the oil and gas space, in the energy space, with the sole goal of trying to ensure that we generate resources in Africa to be able to invest into our energy problems. We are going to see more than 10 ministers coming from across Africa, from Ghana, from Nigeria, important countries, as well as Mozambique, for example, neighbors to South Africa, Namibia, where we just had resources. So we're really looking forward to seeing all of these crowds. But one thing which we're also going to do, we are going to have a youth roundtable. We need to be able to sensitize the young people about the importance of reliable and affordable energy and how we need to be able to position ourselves to ensure that we can get that. So the discussion is not just a discussion for VIPs, it's a discussion for everyone because we need to involve everybody. We need to look at the role of women in the energy industry and in the oil and gas industry because it is extremely important to be able to get everybody around the table.
All right. Thank you so much, Werner, for joining us.
Thank you very much. Thank you for having me.